following the ensuing realm of the ensuing realm of sorry. Had to focus on what I was doing for a brief moment. Okay, now for the gravel. Okay, that one is on its third barrel. Oh my. And this one is just getting more full. Okay. Yeah. The Ouroboros were the champions of the primordial chaos. Therefore, the primordial chaos decided that they would get to decide where the center of reality was supposed to be. However, amidst their bickering, they could not figure out a way to decide where the center of reality should be. In the process, they ended up ripping each other apart, damaging each other quite gravely in the process, and additionally, they managed to... What was that? Additionally, they managed to cause each other enough pain to make each one think very carefully about whether or not to proceed with a pressured attack. They resolved amongst each other that they were not very well equipped for dealing with an all-out war between themselves. Therefore, they decided that war was not going to be a good method of resolving the dilemma of where they wanted the center of reality to be. In the end, their fight caused them to lose the decision of where the center of reality was supposed to be, forcing the prime material plane to end up being the center of reality. That is the official story behind how Dungeons and Dragons reality formed, as well as a commonly used description in my campaign. Like the world's been destroyed repeatedly. The origins of the planet probably did not exactly survive unscathed. Yes, there are theories of how the planet popped into existence, but the origin story has not gone unscathed, probably, amidst countless cataclysmic events. It would not surprise me if there was at least one person who was sitting there going, well, how do you know it wasn't this way? It's written right here. Well, your author, that wizard of the coast, is a numbskull. Oh, how dare you? The whole fight amongst professors or whatever. you know, uh, fight amongst scholars, I believe is what it is, where they basically debate what is and is not considered real, which I find incredibly boring. It's like you're expecting me to discuss what is and is not real, and this is supposed to be entertainment? Since when? you know like debate club. It's like, how do you people have an entire club dedicated to arguing with each other all day? I do not understand it. It is beyond my comprehension. Like more power to them if they're able to, properly handle having a debate club. But I have no idea how people handle debate club. Like, to me, it's just arguing. Anyways, now that I've got that situation taken care of, I can go ahead and get myself all situated here, start laying in the groundwork for the next layer of ground. Yeah, it's one thing to note about digging with some of these faster pickaxes is that in the process, you're possibly going to leave behind some materials. Therefore, you want to make sure you go back and gather any materials that you might have accidentally dropped on the ground. You might not even be aware that you dropped materials behind you. Therefore, it does help to just go back and check. You turn around, run back, make sure you didn't leave anything behind. That's just kind of a good idea on any job site, really. Make sure you didn't leave anything behind. Now, when I get to the floor below, the bottom floor, that floor is going to be absolute chaos, because once I get to that floor, I also have to install the smooth stone flooring embedded in the bedrock, which can be up to 4 layers deep. However, in most cases, it will be 2 or 3 layers deep, with occasionally only being 1 layer deep. It's going to be a lot of checking on whether or not the current stack that I'm standing on is in fact made of smooth stone or regular stone or cobblestone or some form of ore. It's going to be a lot of checking my footing, basically. And I just go through, make sure that I have all of the resources from all of these little side sections. Now, I am aware that my build has been very, very much, you know, subway tunnel-esque, where I've been building underground for so long that if I surfaced right now, I'd probably just instantly get mauled to death by phantoms. I understand that. You know, it does definitely make sure to keep you on your toes if you're mining on the surface. They tell you don't mine at night, and well, I kind of ignore that and just light the entire place up instead. I work the lights into the build. That way I am able to mine at night without worry. I understand that not everyone is able to do that. However, even my capacity to actually mine in such conditions is actually limited. I would like to point out that in the process of doing all of this digging, I have not been using jack-o'-lanterns. The reason why I have not been using jack-o'-lanterns is very simple. I ran out. I ran out of jack-o'-lanterns. I have a low supply of jack-o'-lanterns because I've been using them for everything. Just jack-o'-lanterns everywhere, no matter where you look. They are a very common commodity in my build. I definitely need to increase my automation of harvesting jack-o'-lanterns. However, there is a flaw with this plan. Right off the bat, you might have noticed this flaw. In order to build a automation for harvesting pumpkins, I need to, if I'm going to make it fully AFK, I need to have observers. Otherwise, I need to utilize some very crafty redstone manipulation in order to keep track of whether or not a specific block is a full block or not. If it is a full block, it needs to transmit a redstone signal to the piston. If it's not a full block, then it needs to not transmit the redstone signal to the piston. And the only way that I would ever be able to accomplish this is with some form of block update detection, or BUD system. Unfortunately, I am not very good at building these BUD systems. Block update detection is not exactly my forte. That is one of the reasons why the Minecraft developers actually introduced the observer block, is specifically for people who did not understand fully how to build a block update detector, or people who just wanted a smaller block update detector. I ran all the way back down here without grabbing more smooth stone. That was my bad. Let me throw this smooth stone onto the ground. Therefore, I can pick it all up nice and neat. Oh, right. And then... Oh, great. Okay, well, looks like I have that much more on me. And now I go down here, just start carving into this next section, and the next section, and so on and so forth until I find myself needing to turn around, go the other direction. The specific strip mine that I am digging is x equals 0 all the way out to x equals 400. If I do not find anything that I desire in the ceiling, floors, and wall of that specific chunk between y equals 1, basically, because I am digging into the bedrock and filling it in myself, at least to the y equals 5 height. If I do not find any resources which I want to preserve, I simply am going to just excavate the whole thing out, and then I'm going to turn it into probably... I don't really know how many floors I can expect to build out of this style before I hit water level. I didn't actually do the math. However, if each floor is roughly 5 tall, that would mean that... Or no, is it 5 tall? Let's see, there's the floor, there's the person standing on the bottom floor, there's the floor in between, and then that brings us up to, what does that bring us up to so far? That brings us up to let's see, 4, and then 5, 6, 7. Okay, so there's 7 tall. If each floor is 7 tall, starting at y equals 5, y equals 6 technically. Yeah, starting at y equals 6 for the first floor. Hi, thanks. Okay, then if y equals 6 is the first floor, that means that y equals well, 7 plus 5 is 12. Therefore, y equals 12 would be 9, 10, 11. Oh, y equals 12 would be the floor above this. I don't know what I was thinking on the 7 tall. Let's see. There's the floor. 6, 7, 8, and then floor here. Oh, that's what it is. Okay. I forgot. The lower floor is a small floor. Okay, well, let's see. We've got... I gotta dig very carefully around gravel because, as you might have noticed, it's kind of insta-break. The problem with that is insta-break things tend to, well, insta-break. Which is kind of annoying when you're trying to accurately dig something out. Maybe you only want to dig 1 or 2 blocks. Instead, you dig out like 15. It's like, I did not want to dig that much. Well, you did. You did dig that much. So, congratulations. But I didn't want that much. Well, I guess you're placing some blocks down then. It's like, oh man. Annoying. So let's see if it's let me go up here real quick. If it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then, yeah, this one's just basically a very cramped version because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this one's just going to be a miniature version of this one, but put in grayscale. It's going to be a little bit narrower in the ceiling region. Okay, so that's a worthwhile note. But if it's 7 tall per floor, that means 14 is 2 floors. 28 is 4 floors. Let's see. 28 times 2 is what? 46? No, 56. Yeah, 56. Okay, so we're talking almost 8 floors worth of tiles. We'll say 7 floors worth of mine. I don't know what I can get from 7 floors worth of excavation. However, I do know that it will make a lot of things much easier because as I continue to dig, I will uncover various monster spawners. I will uncover various treasures and whatnot. I can go through and I can actually gather all of this material in order to make it so that I am able to more readily be prepared for an event where I might need any of these materials, such as if I'm building a gigantic addition to my mine where I need a bunch of granite, diorite, and andesite, because for whatever reason I might have decided to use those specific ores as my decoration buildings, my decoration items. Maybe I need a bunch of coal ore, maybe I need a bunch of diamond ore, Do you slimes mind? You've been following me for far too long. Jeez. Cut me some slack here. Okay. Where was I? Right. I was trying to avoid breaking my shovel while distracted by slimes. Yeah. Anyways, I might need to go make myself another pickaxe, it would seem. Which is fine. I don't mind making myself another pickaxe. Move. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, this is kind of a big floor. I could drop this by 2 and make it, 3 tall walking area. It'd still be nice and roomy. But it really does do better as the 7 tall instead of the 5 tall. 5 tall would not look as good. I could maybe get away with 6 tall, but 5 tall just doesn't look as good. I would enjoy having my my base be a a specific predetermined height. Hold on, I need to craft a bunch of things all at once. Nope, can't get away with that. How about that? Nope, can't get away with that. Okay. You go there. Oh, did I not have any andesite this time? Oh, no, I just converted it all. Never mind. But diorite? Nope, doesn't look like it. Now I can grab the granite. The granite can be converted into polished granite. And then the polished granite can be put away. And then I can go over here, deposit the redstone ore, deposit the blocks of slime, deposit the coal ore. I can run over here and I can deposit this dirt. And then I can deposit cobblestone, which I have plenty of. I probably want to consider turning that top furnace back on soon. Okay, now I go over here, look at my gravelstone supplies. I believe I was on the 3rd barrel. Yep, working towards 4th. Now, speaking of my smooth stone smeltery, let's see how the various ores are holding up. Looks like we've smelted 21 of each. There it is. Or not. Must have just grabbed it at the last frame and just not seen it. Weird. Anyways, now we have our regular stone nice and stockpiled. We can go ahead with making sure that we don't lose our pickaxe because that's what we were here for, was crafting another pickaxe. We need to replace our current one. Therefore, we shall just craft a bunch, as well as a few iron blocks. Block of iron, please. Put away the extra ingots. Put away the extra pickaxes. Open up the anvil. Repair this one for 9 levels. Broke the anvil. Let's go ahead and repair that. Let's see. Anvil, please. Thank you. That used up a lot of iron. Oh, we can deposit the gold ingot that we're holding on to as well. Okay. Now, we can go down here, finish mining out this. Then, we can go looking into gathering our supplies for the floor. Yeah. the Ooze, the Kenku, the half-orc, half-Goliath, and the Deep Gnome walked into the Adventuring Guild. They retrieved the handout for the quest in order to find out when they needed to meet up with the caravan, which was roughly at noon. They had about an hour to pass, about an hour to kill, before they needed to worry about, actually being present for the caravan. However, they managed to trigger the fight or flight response of the rather cautious or overly cautious members of the Adventuring Guild, which caused the Adventuring Guild to start, pulling out weapons. Not exactly a sight that the Kenku or the fighter was very keen on when they realized that the reason everyone was pulling out their weapons was because they were staring in the general direction of the party. The party was not very thrilled by this news, for obvious reasons. They could kind of piece together what was going on rather quickly. The Kenku actually had advantage on figuring out what was going on because he'd been through this sort of situation before with the Adventuring Guild, or at least similar occurrences thereof, where, if it's his word versus their word, who's going to be believed, chances are he's not going to be on the winning end of the argument type of situation. That's, again, a part of the nature of this town. It is specifically a feature of this town that the inhabitants happen to be racist. It is not a very well featured thing about the town. That's why I kind of have to keep pointing it out. And also, I don't want the comment section to go all completely crazy on me and be like, well, why are they like that? It's like they're like that because they're racists. Well, you want me to tell you, they're racists. I mean, they just are, okay? Like, I could make it so that the town is not racist, but then it needs another, unique defining feature. I could give it another one, but, it's still going to be something that is likely to offend people, because that's kind of what sets things apart. If a person is not very well liked, people make note of that. People will be like, I don't like that person, and when they do that, they have a tendency to make note of why they don't like that person. Therefore, like, I could, make the town nicer, but A, the party has not left the starting town at all. Up until a few months ago, real life, the party just didn't do anything as far as exploration goes. I don't know if it's just their characters aren't that into exploring, or maybe no, like some of their characters are very interested in exploring. I know the orc Goliath, the half orc, half Goliath party member, specifically is going out to explore in order to locate various runic languages in an attempt to learn more about the runes of giants and basically rune magic. They're studying they're studying rune magic, basically. They are a rune knight. They are a knight which studies the magic of runes. That is the source of their strength, and understandably so. They are slowly progressing towards getting a lot stronger in their runes. They did recently get a few runes from their class archetype. I'm not that bad of a GM to where, I'll make you go out and discover all of the runes first and actually find them in world. However, there are plenty of lost language type runes that he will be able to find. I just have to kind of come up with them first. I know there is going to be one for the swamps. If he ever manages to mention to a troll that he is a rune knight, the troll will possibly end up mentioning, that it knows giant and why it knows giant. He never really questioned that the trolls knew giant. It's like, did he miss the cue there that he's speaking giant to a troll? Maybe it knows something? Instead he was just like, well, why are the trolls attacking the town? And the troll was like, there's dragons! And he was like, okay, works for me. That's a good enough reason. But he was speaking to it in giant. Therefore, I'm going to have him definitely roll a history check to see if he just randomly connects the dots on, I was speaking giant to that troll. I wonder. It's like, yeah, I bet you do. Too bad you didn't ask it if it knew anything. It didn't, but it would have directed him to the swamps and been like, oh yeah, we ward all kinds of stuff in the swamps. You just gotta know what to look for. Of course, he would have had to have befriended it first. He did manage to actually come decently close to befriending it. However, it would have still attacked the party. Therefore, he would not have befriended it for very long. He would have been able to befriend it long enough to gather some information, and then he probably would have had to either, let it run away, and it would have gotten eventually hunted down by the Adventuring Guild, or he would have had to fought it himself and, taken it out, or he would have had to, let the party figure out what to do with it. For the most part, though, the trolls were interested in the fine cuisine of the merchant town, as there is, of course, lovely, lovely food to be had in the merchant city of Melodia, where the players have been located for the past out-of-game year. It's a bit absurd, but yes, they have been out of game playing for a year. And for some reason, they are still at the first town. I don't know why. There has been plenty of progress to be made. It's just a matter of actually making progress. Although I suppose half of the time was probably the massive hiatus that my campaign took, where it had just lost interest amongst the players to the point where I just stopped showing up. Like, even I stopped showing up. And I'm the GM, so once I stop showing up, it's like game over, However, the campaign has started, recently getting popular again. People have started showing that they actually have enough time to play, which is great because, I've been looking for a reason to play more D&D. I try my best to, make sure that all of my players have lots of fun. I try my best to make sure that my players don't go running off doing stupid things all the time as well. That being said, a lot of the times that my players are caught doing something stupid, it's because they ran off and did something stupid. Doing stupid things gets you caught. Not much of a surprise. Okay. Then we need to deposit the gravel. Then we need to deposit the regular stone. Okay. Looks like these just now ran out of fuel. That's fine. I shall gather their resources. Gather another 3 stacks approximately of smooth stone. Now I want to go down here and start filling in more of this floor. Oh, oops. Wait. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's what it is. I wasn't taking into account the gap for the lantern. Forward. Thank you. Yeah. My progress on my campaign is... Well, I haven't really actually had time to prepare anything for my campaign because I've been putting all of my time and effort into smoothing out my YouTube playlist, as well as providing the vast quantities of updates, which the playlist also needs. Yes, some of the actions can be performed using the bulk change settings action. However, things such as telling YouTube that specifically I am playing Bedrock edition of Minecraft, that's not something I can just do as a bulk action. It's not an option. Therefore, I will need to go into each video individually anyways, meaning I might as well just go into each individual video anyways. I do agree that the bulk update action is a very useful feature of YouTube. I am aware of said feature. However, the apply bulk updates setting of the YouTube Studio still has its limitations. I can tell it to, apply all of the settings to all of the videos, but it will not, for example, allow me to tell it to designate specifically Minecraft Bedrock Edition. It will not allow me to specifically, title each video with a proper header, a proper headline, in order to give a brief description of at least one of the activities which were performed in the video. It will not allow me to bulk update what picture best represents each video. For these specific options, I need to actually go into the video and modify the video from inside the settings for the video. It's really the only way to actually apply those settings. I really, really want to dig out the floor below, but I know that if I dig out the floor below, it's going to just start spawning ungodly amounts of mobs. Alternatively, I could dig out, for example, this area, which technically should already be dug out. Don't know why it wasn't, but it is now. I could go about installing all of these staircases. I think I'll do that. I shall install staircases. Okay, that means I need to go out to x equals 50. Okay, well, this is awkward. I don't have a lantern for that. Here. Yeah, that one's otherwise going to get obscured. Okay. There we go. A lantern. How about if I borrow one of these lanterns down here to replace that one? Because what it is I don't want to actually, like, fall into the gap that I just made there. Because I do frequently run across this section. Okay. Now I get to dig this direction. Because I get to dig up areas such as this one. Now I dig out here. And I dig out over here. And that is how you make an entryway. Then, if I really wanted to get fancy with it, I could continue the staircase over this way. And that allows me to really open up the roof here. Now I can make use of this very open-ended design in order to better access everything up top here. Now I can go digging all of this out in order to allow myself to have access to all of this area. You know, in hindsight, I should probably get started with over here, actually. Because if I want to dig that much material out, I should really make sure that I can have access to some form of light. The only way I'm really going to do that is if I dig my way through this section first. Because otherwise I will not know what I'm digging into. Aha. There we go. Now I can have a vague semblance of what I am digging into. I still have no idea, but I can vaguely guess. Now I can actually gauge roughly how far I have dug into what I'm roughly guessing is the thing I want to dig out. Apologies for the noise. It seems that someone wants to dribble a basketball outside my bedroom window. Additionally, it would seem that I have managed to find myself a silverfish vein. I was wondering when I would encounter one of these. And now I want to go. I dig here. And that leaves it in this pattern, right? Yeah, it still leaves it as that connected stair. Okay. Therefore, I can dig out this section without worry. I will ignore the large slime for now because he can't move. Now I can go over this way, connect the two sections which I just carved out. This is very similar to watching woodworking shows similar to This Old House, where they just sit around renovating an old house all day. Or Ask This Old House, where they ask questions about how to renovate an old house all day. Okay, we are making progress. Now I get to fill in this area. Or specifically, I get to fill in the staircase of this area with polished stone, smooth stone. I should actually light up in between the floors as well.